So here we go. Let's have a look at the sources of CO2 equivalent emissions. So where do the greenhouse gases come from, the anthropogenic greenhouse gases? Let's have a look at it. And we can look at different sectors. Okay, this is a little cake shown here. Okay, so the entire cake is 100%, and the individual pieces of the cake now show different sectors. Okay. If you look at that entire cake, you see that energy production is about 3/4 of global greenhouse gas emissions. The production of energy for electricity, for heat, and as part of transport. Okay? So that's the biggest chunk. Okay? And you can look at the details further. We do that on the next slide, but this is the big message. Okay? 3/4 of the energy of the global greenhouse gas emissions are used for the production of energy. The other parts are direct industrial processes, 5.2%, waste, 3.2%, agriculture, forestry, and land use, 18.4%. Okay? Energy, the biggest part. Okay? And here the second largest slice in this classification is agriculture, forestry, and land use. So let's have a look at the energy. Okay, this is the biggest slice of the cake, and of that you can see it's a large range of different sectors. For example, energy use in industry, 25%. That's a big chunk. Okay, the energy use in industry for the production of stuff. Okay. Transport also has a big chunk. 16.5%. And the biggest is the road transport of that. Okay? We also have energy use in buildings, 17.5%. It's a big chunk. Energy use in buildings to keep buildings warm. And then some other parts. Okay, there's some other contributions. I say it again, the big chunks of this energy production is in industry, in transport, and the energy use in buildings. Okay, and that's all has to go down to zero, okay, to a zero net emission of greenhouse gas by the mid or 3/4 of this century. Okay, that's a big deal, isn't it? Okay. We can look at the other contributions: agriculture, forestry, and land use, altogether contributing to 18.4% of the greenhouse gas emissions. And we look at livestock. Okay, as a relatively, it's spread across different processes: agricultural soils, crop burning, deforestation, cropland management, rice cultivation, grassland. Okay, so that's a quite a big range of different. So if you wanted to reduce all these emissions, you need a large, wide range of strategies. So also direct industrial processes contribute by 5.2% to global greenhouse gas emissions. Cement production, okay, chemicals and petrochemicals, they play a big role in that. Waste, 3.2%, wastewater and landfill. Okay. And I show a little bit more about that on the next slide, but if you look at the food system as a whole, including refrigeration, food processing, packaging, and transport, accounts for around 1/4, 25% of greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, if you now have a look at the food system. So let's have a look at the food system. I think it's shown here from food production. Okay. Again, on the left side is looking at the total global emissions. Non-food is 74%, food is 26%. And then you look at the food production, also in terms like a cake, if you want to look at the individual slices. And you can see supply chain 18%, livestock and fisheries 31%, crop production 27%, land use 24%. Okay, so again, it comes in little chunks of different fractions. Okay, so if you now wanted to change the food system, which contributes 1/4 of global CO2 emissions, well, you need a range of strategies again. Okay. All right. Good. So that was the second part. And now let's start with the third part, the blame game.